So I like to sometimes use my 360 camera. It has a camera on both sides, so you can get that cool 360 views footage. And last time I used it, I was using this, and I kind of made this up myself. It attaches to the handlebars. It's some kind of like Garmin mount. And I used a zip tie and a GoPro mount and epoxied them and zip tied them together. And it actually kind of works good, except for when you hit like heavy gravel. And it was actually, what happened is the bolt backed itself out. But the whole thing, just that strip is so flimsy. I think it's too much weight, and this is a little bit too flimsy. So I'm making a new one today. This was from Shinran. They sent me, or Shinran, they sent me this, I don't know, bike light computer thing a long time ago. It's on my channel. And it came with this mount. Now I don't really use this mount, I never have. This was the tab here. And so the idea is you could like bend this down and slide on their computer or light or whatever it was. But I don't use this anymore, so I'm gonna use this to be my camera mount. Now what I have also is this, don't know where I acquired it, a long time ago. But obviously it's a standard GoPro mount, so your GoPro can mount in like that with a bolt through it. So what I'm gonna do is attach this to this. And I'm gonna use, just like I did before, epoxy. And I think having two arms, two more, thicker arms and thicker mount points here where it connects onto the handlebar, the whole thing will be a lot more rigid and a lot more stiff and just overall stronger. So what I found is that this, I did a little bit of filing on these corners, and with that, this fits right in there like that. So what I'm gonna do is just epoxy everything together like that. And even if I get some in here, it doesn't matter. Actually, it'll be really fine. And essentially this will be just, one solid unit just for the GoPro like that. So let's go ahead and get the epoxy going. My grandfather, he was actually a model maker at NASA. So at some point he gave me these epoxy, this two-part epoxy, A and B. I don't know where he got it actually. And I'm sure you can still buy it, but anyway, I've been using it for a long time because I don't, use that much. He's still, to this day, he's in his 90s and still does model making and stuff. So I'm gonna get 1 spoon of each. It's a 1-to-1 part, so stick that in there. Let me know if there's like a better way to do this. And you can never mix them in their jars for sure. So I'm using a clean spoon to get a spoonful out of part B. Just the same. Then I mix them up like that, and then I try to get everything out of both spoons. Part A is a bit thicker, so I really have to try to get it out. And then what I've done in the past, once I get it out, is actually cut this off here, like that. Get this out of here, get both these spoons out of here. And then I use this as like a mixer. And this is like a silicone mold thing. I think somebody on YouTube gave me the idea to do this. And it works really good because you can like mix your epoxy in there, and once it's all done and dried and you're finished with it, you can peel it out because it's like flexible, so you can peel out the old epoxy. So it's important to mix it really good. I know if you're doing this for like aesthetic stuff, you have to be more careful about mixing it because you don't want the air bubbles in there, but mine doesn't matter if I have a few air bubbles. I just want to make sure it's mixed properly so it gets hard and dries. Epoxy is like a miracle of engineering. I mean, it is so tough and durable if you get it right. And see, just 2 spoonfuls out of, 1 spoonful out of each, 2 spoons in total, it makes like way more epoxy even than I need for this job. So sometimes, and I didn't think about doing it today, but sometimes I find other things that I need to epoxy just so I can not waste any, but I didn't think about it today. So important thing here is I have this lined up reasonably straight. I think I do. So like that, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna flip it over, and really I'm gonna set this up a little bit. Now once this is mixed, you need to kind of work fast. That's the thing about epoxy. All right, so I wanna set this up so it's nice and flat. That's why I put it inside this tape. I'm not sure if I should go with the pouring method or what. It's slightly awkward because I'm trying to let you guys see, so my hands are kind of in a weird position. I'm going with the pouring method. I'm pouring it in here. Okay, stop. That's too much. Switch to this side. Sorry, you probably can't see too good. I'm just trying to pour it in there. Whoa, it's overspilling a little bit. Whoa, okay, it's getting crazy. I was thinking it might have been a good idea to, I'm not really trying to get it in here, but if some gets in there, it doesn't matter. I was thinking about using a syringe to get this in here because it's a little bit hard to get it right in where you want it. I want it right down in there. Very messy here today. I think it's getting in there okay though. Let me flip it over. Of course, I don't really want any up here. Good. I wanted to see that it's getting through these holes. That's exactly what I want. So it's actually looking really good. I think I'm pretty much done already. But this is kind of low risk stuff. If I screw the whole thing up, it's not a big deal. This has just been sitting in my drawer for years anyway. There we go. Epoxy work is done. Next thing I'm gonna do here is, what I want to do anyway, just to make sure everything is flat and tight. I'm gonna get this out of the way. I'm gonna use this vice grip wrench to hold everything down. Ooh, yeah, it did move quite a lot actually. There. Sorry, we're gonna use the vice grip here just to hold this like this. I'm gonna go put this in my vise. Yeah, that's as far as we can go. All right, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna throw a piece of cardboard under here so that the dripping won't get on the floor. Okay, now we just have to wait, and once it's all dry, I'll come back. We'll test it out. Okay, it's been drying a few days, and it's definitely solid now, and I think it's fine. It's always kind of ugly with the epoxy. You can see these kind of like bubbles here, or drips rather. And there was actually a little bit of drippage here, but I just kind of scraped it off with my knife, and I think this fits pretty well now. So it'll go on the bike like this, so I want the screen to be facing me, of course. So that'll go like that. I'll stick this in. And kind of the nice thing about it is you can see the hinge here, right? Kind of hinges like that. But the body of the camera impacts right there. And the good thing about that is it's actually resting on it. So we're not relying on just the hinge being crazy tight to keep the camera from drooping. It's actually resting right there. It's definitely not a type of thing you just take on and off all the time. I guess I would, I don't know, probably just use it for events, races and such. I think that's pretty strong. Let's go ahead and mount the camera, and then we'll go for a ride. Now this needs to be tight, but not crazy tight, because like I said, the whole camera is leaning on this part here. All right, let's try it out. Wow, it's chilly, but I guess I shouldn't complain. It's January, and I'm in a t-shirt. Let's try to go up this hill as fast as we can. Full out. I think on Strava it's called a wee little climb. So it doesn't start for a while, but you have to get your speed right here. Whoa! Holy moly! I don't think that's a PR. I didn't feel fast, but it hurts. All right, I think the mount is holding up good. I'll write down in the comments if it messes up in the future, but for now it's holding up good. So thanks everybody for watching. See you in the next one.